Hello, everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian, and in sports today, the Wildcats baseball team is off to a fine start in 2019 as the Wildcats took a pair of games in a Van tournament on Thursday. The Wildcats won their rematch with North Lamar 13-6 late Thursday afternoon. The Wildcats also downed North Lamar at Wildcat Park back on Monday night 10-4. Playing back-to-back games on Thursday, the Wildcats shut out Athens 6-0. The Wildcats improved their season record to 6-1, and they won 5 straight games. It was a tough day for the Lady Cats softball team as they lost their first 2 games of the season in a Wiley tournament Thursday afternoon. In their first game of the day, the Lady Cats lost in heartbreaking fashion to the Colony 3-2. The Lady Cats entered the bottom of the 5th, leading 2-1 with the Colony batting. An error allowed the tying and winning runs to score. The Lady Cats managed only 4 hits off of the Colony pitching. The Lady Cats had scored 2 runs in the top of the 5th to take a 2-1 lead. Kelsey Wallace and Brinkley Driver had the Lady Cats RBIs. Kate Womack had 2 hits and 2 at-bats and scored a run. Wallace and Maddie Millsap also got a hit apiece. Lady Cats pitcher Bailey Haggerty took the hard luck loss, pitching 5 innings, allowing 4 hits and 3 runs with only 1 run earned. Haggerty struck out 5 and walked 2. In the second of back-to-back games on Thursday, the Lady Cats were shut out by Rockwall 3-0. The Lady Yellow Jackets only out-hit the Lady Cats 6-5. The Lady Cats had the game's only error. 5 Lady Cats got singles: Wallace, Allie Fight, Driver, Sierra Smith, and Womack. Sadie Stroud drew a walk. Addison Cadell got the pitching loss, allowing 6 hits and 3 runs over 7 innings of pitching. Cadell struck out 3 and walked 3. The Lady Cats are now 10-2 for the season. The Sulphur Springs track meet took place on a very cold Thursday night, and we get results from Wildcats track coach Matt Young.
We came back with 2 first-place trophies, both our varsity boys and JV boys. We survived some 35-degree temperatures, and really the stat of the night that we're really loving on our kids is we didn't have anybody miss a race. We didn't have one kid we had to go find for a race, which just really attributed to their toughness, their perseverance, and their commitment to what they're doing, which led to the success for the night. So really pleased with how the meet went. The teams that were here, the help that we had community members step in, help time and pick and concession stand, and workers from the school, and just was a really good event.
And a lot of good performance by the Wildcats.
Yeah, it started off field events. It's this one's tough for me. I don't get to see it as well, so I may be off a little bit on some places. But we had 2 good throwers in the shot put. Both Jermon Brian Amos and Ryan Hammonds both placed, I think, 2nd and 3rd through 42 feet. Not a bad start for those 2 guys, but really exciting that we have 2 guys there that can score. Discus, we're still kind of progressing along for our varsity and JV kids, kind of sorting it out, but they got some attempts in. Pole vault, Eli Sellers, I believe, took 3rd. I want to say he cleared 11. But with it being a cold day, really marks and times are really irrelevant. It was just competing against the kids that were there with good competition. The nice thing for us, kind of looking as we go through, Lindell's in our district, Mount Pleasant's in our district, we're able to see what those guys brought to the table. Paris was here. They're always a strong team in Northeast Texas. And then also had Commerce and Brownsboro. So just good seeing those guys place in that. High jump, Landry Tyson off to a great start, cleared 5'10", took 1st in it. We had Damian Dugan in long jump, took a 1st. And then I believe in triple jump, he and Carter Monk-Meg on 2nd and 3rd. So a lot of guys placing in our field events, which gives you a good start to the day. Our 2 milers are strong. We got Landon Thornton back, great runner. Took a 1st. Christian Palomino took a 2nd. And I believe we had Jesus Mejia take a 6 for us also. Mm-hmm. So lots of points coming into play when we started running. Our 4x1, kind of a new group. Damian Dugan to George Greenway to C.C. Clayton to Caden Davis. They took 2nd. A nice run, and we've had limited days of getting handoffs, and those guys got to stick around and lost to Paris. But a good run by those guys. Our 800-meter guys, Nabin Ramirez came out of the gate with a 2:02. maybe the time of the day that kind of jumped out. Eli Sellers, great, we got second. Good solid run. We know his times are going to continue to drop. And so we got points coming out of the 800. 110s, we got Landry Tyson took a first. In the 100-meter dash, George Greenway and Caden Davis went 5th and 6th. We're not running a 4x2 yet. Turned around in the 400 meters, Ricardo Torres placed and got points. At 300 hurdles, Landry Tyson won, ran a 41.7, which is the other time of the night that kind of stands out. 200-meter, George Greenway, I believe, took a second in it. Then our milers, Christian Palomino actually took first. Landon Thornton took a second, and then finished the night with our 4x4, really a strong group for us. You'll recognize the names because you've heard them already. Ricardo Torres to Eli Sellers to Nabian Ramirez to Landry Tyson, and those guys end up winning by 20 yards. So really excited about what we got going. We got a really experienced group, some guys that have been around and done it, and you can really see the possibilities out there, what they can accomplish.
What's next now?
We head to Royce City next week, which gets another district opponent, get to see Mount Pleasant again, and then some other new teams. Maybe some warmer temperatures by the end of the week. Probably not, but you can always be hopeful. I do want to highlight our JV boys ended up getting first. They won by 2 points, which is really just a great reminder. We probably had right around 30 kids participate in our JV. We got probably 10 to 12 that just do one event because there's so many guys wanting to be out there. And it came down to just, you could take any one of them that took a fifth, and that was the difference. We had some kids run the hurdles for the first time that took a fifth. We had a kid run the 800 for the first time that took a fifth. So really neat. I think we had close to 55 kids participate yesterday in events between the JV and the varsity. So really excited where we're going. We've got soccer kids that are running because we have Thursday meets. We had a baseball player come pole vault. Obviously, we got football kids out there. We still got some basketball kids that are going to come join us, hopefully still in a couple of weeks after they win the whole thing. And just really neat to see the kids Silver Springs and what they can do.
The Lady Cats track team also won their own Sulphur Springs track meet on a chilly Thursday evening. Lady Cats' first place winners included Sydney Washburn in the 3,200 meters and 1,600 meters, Aaliyah Abram in the long jump in the 400-meter race, Abby Beggs in the discus, Abby Bayer in the 100-meter hurdles and 300-meter hurdles, and Sadavia Porter in the 100-meter dash and 200-meter dash. We get more from Lady Cats track coach Derek Tyson.
It's exciting because of the amount of young kids that are coming up and having the stable of veterans that we have, whether it be Sadavia, Abby Bayer, Faith Hatley, especially when you do your own meet because you got to work. You don't really get to coach. And watching some of those girls take the younger ones, by the hand and kind of tell them what to do in preparation because especially with the weather conditions. It was pretty inspiring. Now, we didn't have any times that were staggering. Once again, sub-freezing temperatures.
Right.
And so when I look at that, at their times and stuff, it's not fantastic, but to me that's beside the point. What I saw last night out of a group of girls, and I think I had 25 in the meet last night, just was a mental toughness, just to endure the weather, see the perseverance. That was exciting to me, and seeing that, knowing that we could have these conditions again. We hope not.
Yeah.
But if we do, knowing that we can compete, and what I did notice, and this is something you do notice when you run your own meet, how many other schools did have kids that opted out of races, where I didn't have one. So knowing that my kids are willing to compete underneath the conditions and not just try to find a way out was very inspiring for me. And I'm really excited about the future of this season and what we're going to bring to the table. We lost two pretty substantial sprinters last year, particularly for the relay, but I had a couple of young freshmen step up last night, and a sophomore that I thought, whoa, that is pretty good. They got a ways, but I think we're going to be very competitive in that particular event by the time we get to the district track meet. So even with the weather conditions, the not so good times, you really saw a lot of bright spots, and then you come away with 178 points and winning your own meet. It's exciting. It's good stuff.
And I guess you have to set a baseline somewhere, and this gives you a starting point to kind of work to chisel those times down and all that.
Oh yeah, and you know, particularly as a springtime coach, and I know we all do it, whether you're coaching baseball or softball, you're constantly looking at the weather, and you know the forecast changes because we live in East Texas, but you're always looking at what the possibility is. Now, as we go to Royce City next week, and we're already looking a week in advance at the weather, you know, we're looking at about 10 to 15 degrees warmer, which would be significant,
Yeah.
and just have high expectations because really temperature it's a big deal when you're prepping to run. I was really glad we came away injury free for the most part, and performed not to the best of our ability, but better than those we competed against. So it says a lot for our kids, and I'd say this, and all of them. I'm talking JV boys, varsity girls. We all competed and we all won. So it's a good day to be a Wildcat, truly.
And you have a nice looking team. I mean, they are, you know, did a good job, and you see a lot of potential in a lot of different spots.
Oh yes, all the way from the throwers to our sand jumpers. You know, we didn't sweep everything, but we have a lot of first, second, and third finishes in multiple. You know, you get to our running events. I've had Abby Burr as a hurdler for 3 years. She's a one-time state qualifier. Really proud of what she's doing right now, and she's starting on the softball team. So we also have several multi-sport athletes that are really doing a great job and extending themselves and doing a lot of really good things right now across the board in our spring sports. So it's fun. Sadavia comes out late because of their high success in basketball, and has worked. In fact, I posted something on Twitter the other day. You know, she gives me a call Saturday and says, "Coach, can you open the track on Sunday? I need to get some work in." So, which is a testament to her and why she's getting the opportunity she's getting to run at UT Arlington. So, we still got a lot of work to do to get to that district meet, but it's exciting stuff right now, and just once again watching their endurance through the weather and their perseverance and the attitude, because it's cold. They didn't mind telling me that, but they were ready to run. Yeah. And it's exciting stuff.
Sulphur Springs High School powerlifting coach Casey Jeter took 2 Lady Cats lifters to the regional meet in Pine Tree on Thursday. And Coach Jeter gives us results.
It was a good meet, great experience for our girls. This is the first time they've been, especially since it's our first year to have it. Girls did an excellent job. Regionals is different. First off, it's regionals. The competition is huge. The parents and the fans are much more into it. They know what's going on. And the girls are much more into it, and coaches. So it's a very intense situation, and our girls handled it very well. We came in, Addie Lamb was in the 123s. Addie got her open run squat of 185. She got a 95-pound bench press, and she also deadlifted 225 pounds. Now, that didn't rank her very high in the region. She's a freshman. Our goals were met. Make it through the regional meet and be a regional lifter, and she did that, and we're very, very proud of her. In the 165s, we had Sable Erdemeyer. Sable is a junior, and Sable came in 4th place in the region. But like I said, it's highly competitive, and we were looking at what we needed to do to go to state. To make it to state from girls regionals, you either rank in the top 2 at the end of the meet, 1st or 2nd place, or you reach a qualifying total, state qualifying total. So we were chasing 2nd place, girl from Lindell. Anyways, great meet. Sable came in, squatted 300 pounds, which was 50 pounds over her best ever. She bench pressed 90 pounds. And then we go into deadlift, which is typically her best lift. And we competed in deadlift, knew that we had to get 55 pounds more than on deadlift than the Lindell girl, who's excellent lifter. And we went for it, and highly competitive. We opened higher than she did. The girl got 315 on the last lift, and we knew we had to go for 370 to give Sable a chance at state, and she got about 6 inches off the ground, gave it everything she had, fought like crazy, and we just couldn't get it. We just didn't have enough juice. So she ended up 4th place, and very, very proud of her. So first time to ever powerlift, first season ever, and here she is with 4th place in regionals. Very proud.
You get both of them back, I assume, and
Yes, sir.
hope to build the team.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's, I believe we'll start in September. So instead of normal, like the guys, we don't start powerlifting until usually December. And so the girls, I'd like to start them a little earlier and give them a little head start on it, see what we can do with them.
Very good, Coach. Sounds exciting.
Yes, sir. Very exciting. Very, very up and down last night. So exciting night. Already looking forward to next year. Already. So
great. On yesterday's show, we had a story about the North Hopkins Panthers baseball team opening the regular season with a 7-4 loss to Jourdanton in a Jourdanton tournament. Later in the day, the Panthers played Cornerstone, and they were shut out 5-0. Caleb Wyatt got the only Panther hit in that game, and he singled in the 2nd inning. Cornerstone had 7 hits, and they scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd and 2 more in the bottom of the 4th. Jeffrey Stewart got the pitching loss, giving up 6 hits and 5 runs with only 4 earned. Over 4 innings, Stewart struck out 3 and walked 2. Easton Lewis worked the final 2 innings and allowed a hit, and he also had a strikeout. The Panthers are 0-2 for the season, and that tournament in Jourdanton will be continuing through Saturday. And that's it for today's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for watching, and so long, everybody.